you play Roxanne with such a joyful energy and genuine charm and soulful intellect. So I would love to know how you approached the classic character, and also what did playing Roxanne teach you most about yourself?
Um, Roxanne was quite an intimidating character because she is someone who is who I thought is quite sure of herself, who knows what she wants. She is someone who is in complete control, and always, I really wanted like to bring a specific energy to the character, that was very sure-footed and coy and chaotic. She has a love for literature and poetry. She's a forward thinker. She is the perfect counterpoint to Peter's Cyrano, who isn't afraid to color outside of the lines. And so I really wanted to focus on a lot of it came from a kind of body language, and Joe is very specific. He his rehearsal space is sacred, so we had 3 weeks to rehearse, and that time was invaluable just to understand the rhythms. And I was really lucky to have worked with Peter Dinklage on stage before we made the film, and so there was already a kind of a chemistry that had been established.
Oh, that's beautiful. Why is it important to see characters, specifically women, on screen unapologetically wanting more, knowing they deserve more, giving themselves permission to have more in life?
I think, it was one of the things that I think you're referencing, that the song, I Need More. And it was really important to me that scene not be like a beautiful scene, but there be a kind of an anarchic kind of spirit to the song, and kind of I wanted her to feel really human and messy, uh, and ugly, and not, I wanted to break outside of a mold. I think that we have, like, there's so many expectations for women to be a certain way, and I think our Roxanne is different from past Roxannes in that way, especially I think the story overall is told with a modern lens. But how do we break down those kind of barriers of these feminine expectations, and it's important to continue to kind of push the envelope, especially with kind of iconic characters.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I gravitated so much toward everything that you were just saying about this film, that Roxanne, though a classic character, really felt modern and refreshing and relatable to, I think, today's, to today. And it was just so beautiful, and just really just lovely, stunning performance on your behalf. And this film is an important one, and it is a joyful one, but yet is not afraid to combine the light and the dark of life. And it was really beautiful. So thank you so much for giving us your Roxanne, because she'll truly be an inspiration, I think, to a lot of women out there. I just wanted to say your performance was so beautifully vulnerable, which made his strength shine that much more. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really sweet.
Yeah. The beauty and power of truth is such a big theme throughout the film. How does Christian's fear that he's not smart enough, that he's not poetic enough, prevent him from sort of living his truth in a way?
Yeah, I love the way you said that. That's so true. I think we all kind of suffer with a bit of insecurity at times, and especially when we're growing up. And Christian's fairly young, He's like, I mean, he's my age, but I still think I'm kind of young. I'm figuring it out. And when you're walking into a new community and we have a lot of dreams about what love looks like and fairy tales, if you grew up watching Disney movies like I did, and Disney movies just come from old tales that your families and grandma told you. And I think Christian had the same thing. So a lot of it is him trying to navigate his true self while also trying to live his idealized version of himself. Same as Cyrano and Roxanne, these ideas we have around romance and what it looks like, what a happily ever after looks like.
Absolutely. And I think that's what Joe Wright, as a director, he's one of my favorite directors because what he does so beautifully is combines romanticism with realism. And he really creates this sort of in-depth look at love. And you really see that in this film. And I think it's so important to have those representations on screen because, like you said, we have a lot of the opposite, which just sets us up for disappointment.
It's so true.
Christian and Cyrano are brought together, you know, by their mutual love for the same woman. But how does the film explore their mutual respect and the admiration and love that grows between these two men?
Oh man, one of the first things me and Pete talked about was the brotherhood between the two of them, because they see a little bit of each other in the other person. And I think it's comforting to have community. It's comforting to be able to talk to somebody and be like, hey, I don't really feel good about how I look. And he's like, well, I don't feel very smart. And let's work on that together. And in some ways it brings them together. The other half of that is a bit heartbreaking, you know, because the sad truth is that the only person that can make you love yourself is you. You know, the other person can't do that for you. And that's the thing, is like we kind of root for them as a team in some ways, and mostly Cyrano in a lot of ways. But you know, but at the same time, what we want for them is to love themselves so that they can give Roxanne the love she deserves. And it's really fascinating to watch. It's something we all deal with. We do it all the time.
Yeah. And it's just, I think that's what love is, right? It should be selfless. And I think that, you know, there's multiple love stories going on in this film. And I think the love story between these two men, in the sense of like how they learn from each other and they really sacrifice so much for that love in the end. It just was really it's like very, like, it's the opposite of toxic masculinity. You know what I mean?
It really
Which is so refreshing and it's sexy to see on screen. It's like, I love that. But that's my time. Thank you so much. And thank you for this beautiful film and your performance, and have a lovely rest of your day.
You too. It was nice talking to you.
You too.